Okay, so we are here to protest against this madness of this testing thing that they use to block all our freedoms. These tests, they are more than 80% nonsense. It does not make sense to judge the whole situation based upon these tests. We should look at the mortality rates. That's where we can find some good evidence that things are wrong. And looking at the mortality rates, we see that there is nothing extraordinary on it compared to other years. So for me, this whole thing is a great nonsense. Loss of economy, loss of pleasure for people. Kids do not go to school. It is a lost year, and all for no reason.
I completely agree with you. In case, can you tell me a little bit about the studies that show that there's no secondary asymptomatic transmission of the disease? So all these lockdowns were worthless, like they're completely nonsensical.
Indeed, like many of the opposing scientists, they tell us that there is nothing abnormal with the situation that we are in now. So no, I don't see any reason to believe what the World Health Organization said in the beginning. And even now the World Health Organization is kind of against the fact that lockdowns would be an appropriate way to fight against what's going on.
No, these are unprecedented measures that the government has taken. The rights and freedoms of Canadians has never been taken away the way they have during this so-called pandemic.
Indeed. I find it, a great nonsense what's going on.
Tell me, you're born in Canada, or where were you born?
I was born in the Netherlands.
In Holland, okay.
In Holland, yes.
And you grew up in Holland?
I grew up there for half of my life, and the last half of my life I kind of spent here.
And how did you decide to become passionate about speaking out against these lockdown measures?
Because of the restriction that it gives on my life.
Yeah. Tell me, how has it affected your life personally? Like, what kind of problems have you had? What kind of hardships have you suffered?
The fact that I cannot go out anymore. If you go to a coffee shop, you cannot properly sit down anymore, or you have to sit between the caution tapes if you want to. You have to register your name, and I find all these things a great intrusion on my life.
It's dehumanizing, isn't it?
It is absolutely dehumanizing, yes.
And why do you think the government of Canada would copy something out of the Communist China Party handbook and dehumanize Canadians this way?
Now you open another can of worms, of course. It was Trudeau who says that he admires China.
Right.
And
he said, not just that, he said he admired the basic dictatorship of China.
Yeah, indeed, because you can turn the economy around on a dime. Yeah, and so he wants his own China.
Well, just imagine the arrogance and the ignorance that he thinks that he can control the economy.
Yeah, it's. I think the people who control the economy are the people who work in the country. Yes. They determine the economy.
Including the small businesses.
Right, correct, yeah.
So how do you feel about the big businesses being open and the small businesses being shut? What sense does that make to you?
That is, it makes you mad, of course. Like if you see little ones like Adam Skelly being shut down, and the Costco down the street is opening up, and the Walmarts are open. It is a disgrace.
It's frightening what's happening in this country, isn't it?
Yes.
How long have you lived here now? 30 years?
I've been here for 30 years.
And have you seen anything like this in your 30 years here in Canada?
We moved in here because we saw that this country is a good country. It was good for the working man.
Yes.
And so I've been working here for a long time as a dairy farmer.
Okay.
And it was a pleasure to do that.
Yes.
But it has been deteriorating quite rapidly, actually, the last five years.
In which way?
In the way our economy is going. the way Trudeau has turned things around in a socialistic way, I find it quite unpleasant.
Me too. I'm with you, brother.
Okay.
Can you just tell me your first name?
My name is John.
John. Thanks, John.
Pleasure.
Very good.